Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your August 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries, August 2021, money and career. Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it's also the warrior queen coming forward. We then have the Hermit, the turning inward, Virgo energy, the Moon, which is Pisces energy, but you have here a monarch in a court card, and you have two major arcana. Our roots are going to be very important to us during this time, meaning the instinctual reactions that we have, if we have ourselves grounded in our proper energy and in our proper understanding of ourselves, is really going to be a guiding force forward. It leads us then to the Ten of Pentacles, which is prosperity, success, wealth, and bounty. We have the Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If you guys are born on the cusp with Pisces, or if you have Pisces or water sign energy within your chart, that's going to be coming through quite profoundly during this time. Also, if you have Virgo energy within your chart. Now let's see, and air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the Two of Wands. We have Aries, we have you coming through as the Emperor, and we have the Ten of Wands. We have Justice, which is Libra energy, fire sign energy, Queen of Wands, which is you. You're represented by the wands in the minor arcana. The Page of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You have the Ace of Cups. You're definitely taking this gift in the inward self, and the inward self is going to be looking at things of like, how can I move forward? How can I get to the place that I want to be? And then it's going to be showing its prosperity, its wealth, and its bounty in the public arena. But the public arena is also going to be seeing a level of emotional awareness and a level of sensitivity that actually might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable at times here, Aries, because you're going to be so in tune with the world around you, but also with the greater energy of the people around you. Now let's see what our chakra energy is for this time. Aries. August 2021, money and career. Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have Soul's Healing, which is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. When it comes to the soul's healing, this is a sense of the energy kind of raining down on us. This is a sense of being healed, of moving towards love, of moving towards a sense of beauty and power and understanding of self, knowing that there is more to this time and more to our financial success than what we see in our waking world, and also within our career success. So there's going to be a need to kind of step back, to meditate, to contemplate. We also see this with the moon and the hermit coming through so beautifully. And then the energy here that we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? August 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. All right. The Prince of Swords. And the Prince of Swords is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's at our root. We have strong Libra energy coming forward here. It's going to be very much a ruler of us, very much a teacher of us during this time. So we're going to find ourselves very drawn to air sign energy, to people who move it down to logic, people who move forward and like push forward in logic and understanding, in insight and ideas. So when it comes to the Prince of Swords, we're going to need to be very mindful of the people who say, I have this great idea, I'm not going to let anything stop me. Sometimes that is going to be absolutely wonderful, and some people are going to have really good ideas, and it'll be great to jump on that bandwagon. But this is a time where we need to see that their ideas and the way that they're putting them into action, that they're not just talking a really good talk, that they're not just being hopelessly charismatic and really having nothing. It's kind of like selling snake oil or something like that. They have this great idea, they have this beautiful way of presenting it, but when it comes down to it, it's not going to be anything. So just be really mindful of this during this time, and be very mindful of the people who are very pushy, because you'll sit there and think, oh my gosh, they really have something going for them. Oh my gosh, they really have this understanding and this great idea and this great passion and power to move them forward. Make sure that there's something backing it up. And if the person gets kind of upset or feels like, why are you questioning me? I can't believe you're questioning me. Be like, I just want to know. I just want to know. I want to see what it is that you have going on here. It moves us to the Queen of Swords, which is at our rooted self. We're going to be warriors. We're going to be greater understanders. We're going to be people who need the communication, who need the diving deeper, who need the meat and potatoes of it. We want the heart of it. We want the substance of it. And that's going to be very important to us. This is also a time where we need to use our mind, our greater understanding, our passions, our powers to move us forward, to break down barriers, to open up doors, and to get to be where it is that we want to be. There's something about flying to new heights. There's something about the opening of our eyes. There's something about the sense of our words and our greater understanding and the taking in of knowledge and being able to sort through things and see things more clearly and openly and honestly. And also what we've put so much time and effort and skill into. That is going to be very important for us in order to open up the door, in order for us to move forward the way that we want to. It moves us then to the Hermit. And the Hermit is saying, as all of this is coming in, we're going to be much more comfortable at our root, being the director behind the scene. Us in general, as the Emperor, as this beautiful, sacred masculine energy comes forward, we're very used to being center stage. We're very used to the power of the flame that burns inside us, drawing people in, being something that can be almost rather intoxicating. It's rather alluring. And people take note of us like they do the actor upon the stage. But this is a time that at our root, we don't want to show our hand. We don't want to say the lines that really mean the most to us during this time. We want to be able to build them. We want to be able to get a greater understanding of it. And that's why we move to the Hermit. We move to this illumination that guides us forward, this torch, this light, this brilliance. And it also brings us to this sense of, it doesn't have to be what everybody else thinks is important for it to be sacredly important to me. It doesn't have to be what everybody else desires, wants, needs, and longs for. This has to be right for me. This is actually going to be a time when our hearts are saying, don't push yourself out there. Don't try to break down all the doors, so many of the answers are going to be within, and so many of the answers are going to be profound. And there's a bit of a flexibility to the mind, but also to the greater understanding of self, the greater sense of where I want to go, what I want to do, how I want to move forward. And it brings us to the moon. It brings us to an illumination of our ideas, of what we desire, a sense of, again, flying free, this freedom of speech, but also of air, this filling of the lungs, the centering within the body. And so the moon is coming very beautifully and very powerfully closer and closer to us. When we embrace this moon during this time, we embrace the secrets of us. We also embrace our fears, because there's a primordial fear of the dark, because we are sight hunters. Our sight is greatly diminished at night. And so when it comes to the moon can illuminate things in a way that the shadows can be monsters. But the moon can also illuminate things so that we understand where our fears are and what is pulling those fears forward within our lives when it comes to our career. There can be something during this time where it's like, do I make this big move? Do I just jump for it, go for it? And we have to look at the burdens we're going to be carrying during this time. How much more weight, how much more effort, how much more work is it going to be for us? And how is it going to illuminate that which is most sacred? And we might have to give ourselves time frames and say, you know what, I can do this for this long and no longer. But there's going to be this need for movement. There's going to be this need for breaking down barriers. But they're going to be barriers that we ourselves have created during this time. When it comes to the inner self, we have the Knight of Cups, the sense of love, the sense of rising above the chaos of emotions, the sense of moving forward towards where we want to be. And as this comes, we find that what is illuminated, we find that what we drink deeply of quenches our souls, and what is illuminated for us, what is reflected to us, is going to be something that we really didn't expect to come forward, but we really needed. It's going to be a healing that is around us. And it brings us to this place of a generational blessing. It brings us to the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is wealth and prosperity and success and bounty. This is a sense of, if I follow my heart, if I listen to who I innately am, how do I open up the door to embrace my success? And when it says, how do I open up the door? It's like, how do I embrace me so fully that I call forward this bounty? And it's realizing that, yes, life is about suffering, because life has a million hurts to it, a million disappointments, a million, heartbreaks. But there are also blessings that we inherit. There's also a sense of, I wanted more for you than was for me. And it could have been only one caregiver who wanted more for you than the other. Or it could have only been one person, one teacher, one mentor that inspired and said, there's more here than meets the eye. But this is the thread that we need to follow during this time. So often we talk about generational curses, and those are the negativity that we've inherited and that have been inherited over time, the wounds that our caregivers gave to us. But what we're going to find is that during this time, we're looking at those wounds, we're looking at the hurt, we're looking at the disappointment, and we're saying, I'm moving forward in love and in tenacity. I'm saying, why not instead of why? And I'm breaking down barriers. And as I do so, wisdom becomes me. As I do so, passion guides me. As I do so, I embrace more of who I am and who I want to be. And that doesn't come from, throwing open the doors and pushing ourselves into the world. It comes from looking within, and it comes from saying, what is it that I desire? What is it that I want? What is it that I need? And it's not going to be the external. It's going to be the internal that really shows us within our career, within our own blessings, what opens up the doors and what closes it. Because this is going to bring wealth. Now, either money or what we value as much as money, but I do see this as an opening of financial success, because I'm looking at what I'm innately good at. And it doesn't matter if the rest of the world says, well, that doesn't amount to anything. What is going to be the beautiful thing during this time is like, yes, it does, but it's not their path. So why are you walking their path? That's going to be what we can easily be caught up in, is that this is their path. This is how they were successful. It's the proverbial them. It's the person that we greatly admire. So it should be my success. And that's not how life works. This is how it works for this person. This is how it works for this energy. This is how it works for this dream. And it's not all the same person, all the same energy, all the same dream that we're talking about. And so during this time, we're claiming our throne. We're saying, this is the essence of myself. This is what I desire. This is what I need. This is how I'm moving forward. And we're actually coming to a place of a conclusion when it comes to our passion, when it comes to what we desire. We're putting down our burdens. We're saying, there is more here than meets the eye. I claim this throne. I have the power of my voice. I move forward in the passion of myself, and it opens up doors. It opens up doors, and this is going to be a time where we have to be very mindful. This is why Spirit said earlier that if we take on more responsibilities, we have to give ourselves a time frame. If we take on more, we have to know when that more is going to stop, or else we're going to be weighed so far down with it that all we see is the dirt on our shoes. All we see is the mud underneath our feet. And that's going to be it. And that's such a draining place to be, because the world becomes tinged with gray. It becomes tinged with this murkiness that is just sad and oppressive and depressive and overwhelming. And that's what Spirit is very much warning us of. We have the repeat of the number 10. We have this place of coming to the completion of a cycle on this earthly realm. And the earthly realm is very important to us. Plus, we're looking at money and we're looking at career. The 10 of Pentacles is money. The 10 of Wands is career. We're coming to a conclusion. One can very much drain us with the 10 of Wands. We can be astoundingly drained if we don't look at what we want to carry within our lives. We don't look at the dreams that we have that we've let go to the wayside. We start to look at that. We start to call forward our prosperity and our bounty and our fortune. All of a sudden, we start to bless ourselves. We start to say, well, this is what I'm good at. This is my spark, my uniqueness, my beauty forward. This is where I get to lead it to. And then that brings us to a place of justice. That brings us to a place of balance. Because when it comes to justice, it isn't about the rules. It isn't about the letter of the law, white page, black print. This is all it could ever be. What it is saying, what energy is right for me? What, bounty leads me forward? What blessing guides me? So justice here is this balance of just understanding, this balance of the discernment of the energy that is a part of us. And that's going to really lead us forward powerfully and beautifully in the public arena. Instead of trying to bend over backwards for everybody, trying to do everything for everyone, we are just to ourselves. We say, this is how much energy I have. This is how much I can give. This is the balance. This is what's fair. But this is what's right for me. So there's going to be the sense of, almost during this time, it's like, will you do something that absolutely goes against the core of your being? Will you push it? And when we embrace this justice, it's saying, I have to work in harmony with myself. And it doesn't mean that when we go against something that is going against the essence of us, it doesn't mean that we have to be doing something bad. It could just be feeling very uncomfortable. It could be gossiping, with coworkers, or it can be, putting other people down, or it can be, falling into anger and frustration because of the workplace and the people around us. And Spirit is saying, kind of look at the justice, look at the discernment, and be very mindful of the energy you're taking in, because that energy can destroy you, or that energy can build you up and make you into this warrior that you are at your root. So be very mindful of this. It moves us to the Queen of Wands. It moves us to a place of passion, new beginnings. It opens up our own energy, our own selves, to say, this is what I want, this is where I'm headed, this is where I'm going, and this is exactly why I'm heading there. Nobody is going to stop me, and everything is moving towards my success. We're not afraid during this time to roll up our sleeves, to get our hands dirty, to just kind of dive into it. This is a time where we need to let our passion shine, when we need to let ourselves shine. And as we do so, we're going to be seeing that messages start to come in. There's going to be something, and it's going to be read. Now, it can be a message as silly from a fortune cookie that really resonates with us. It can be a message where we're reading over something and we're like, well, this doesn't really make sense. Maybe you should look over this again. Maybe the person writing it should look over it. Or maybe we should, look at this differently because something here just doesn't look right. That's going to be a message coming to us that we really have to be mindful of during this time. We also really have to be mindful of what we're learning, what we're taking in, the power of the knowledge that is around us, because we're going to be learning more than we think we are. We also have to start giving ourselves credit, because even though we're going to feel rather new to something, or rather like we're kind of jumping into the deep end, there's going to be a need here to trust the intuition and trust the guidance that is a part of us and that is a powerful part of us during this time. We can also be working with somebody who is rather new to things. We do carry more experience than they do. We have to be discerning of what they kind of want to dive into and what they think is important, because there's going to be this need of, okay, well, where's the success going to come from this? Like, why are we going to be following down this line instead of this line? Like, why are we going to be doing this instead of that? And it could be something as simple as putting up a display, let's look at these colors instead of these colors, or let's put it up this way instead of that way. Or it could be something much more complicated, like documents, or where we're going to be, allocating more time within the workplace. So do be mindful of that, because there are going to be a lot of ideas coming forward, and there's going to be somebody who has this young energy to them, who just doesn't see the bigger picture and isn't really going to right now. And then we move towards the Ace of Cups. It's a healing that we're absolutely taking. It's an opening of energy. It's a releasing of negativity. It is a cleansing of the heart and the inner self, and it's a washing away. It's a washing away of so much doubt and fear and anger and upset. This is a time where we really have to focus on our hearts, our desires, our loves, our passions, and our billions of being. Our subconscious chakra self is truth, the throat chakra. We are going to need to embrace the power of our truth. We're going to need to speak our truth, even though sometimes it may not make us the most popular people. It's not being negative or angry or, caustic to anybody. It is simply saying, it's simply speaking the energy for which we believe and the power for which we move forward in. And that's going to be very important to us and for us, just in order to be successful. It moves us then to our subconscious energy that we have to be mindful of. And this is the King of Pentacles. This is boiling everything down to money and how much power and success I can have. Because money, power, and success is awesome. It really is. But how much are we willing to sacrifice for it? And whose advice? Who are we putting up as the gold standard, and why? And maybe we should stop trying to compare ourselves to everybody else, or always seeking for more and more and more, and just be grateful for where we stand right now and the power and the wealth that moves us forward. We're going to find that we put people up as role models during this time. We put people as voices of authority that actually haven't earned it. They have done what is right for them, yes. They might have accumulated a lot, yes. But their lives, in general, they're not going to be the way that you want to move forward, Aries. We're going to be very attracted to power. We're going to be very attracted to movement. But we have to make sure that power and movement is coming from a place of honor and truth. It leads us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Another 10. We have 3 10s. So divinity is saying a change is coming forward, and it's going to help us put down our burdens and call forward our fortune. As this change comes forward, we're going to be entering into a new season, a new way of seeing ourselves, a new way of seeing our power and our understanding and our greatness and our abilities. And that's going to be really important, but it's also going to feel at times as if the world is changing and we're just along for a ride, as if we're on this roller coaster ride. And we have to be aware of the roller coaster ride, of the intensity of things, and find that balance within us, not lose our footing because the change is too intense. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the prosperity that is to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.